Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Caitlin and I'm joined by my two friends today if they want to introduce themselves.
SJ.
My.
And this is our first video in a Disney extravaganza that we're doing over a good couple of days. Me and SJ are mainly doing it. If you can pop in whenever you can. I think this is one of the few videos you're going to be in.
Probably the only one.
Probably the only one, okay. And basically what we're doing is we are watching a series of what we think are the more unappreciated Disney films. So we've just started with Fantasia. So it's not so much unappreciated as in people don't love them. It's more not the more ones that Disney markets so much on anymore. So we've got Fantasia, then next we're watching the Aristocats, and then Black Cauldron is definitely going to be in it, and basically a bunch of others, so there's basically going to be a series of videos. So yes, the first one that we have watched is Fantasia, and only one of us knows anything about music. That's mine.
Yeah.
Sarah, you know more about the actual filming of the film.
Yeah.
And I just watched it. Probably
for the first time in a very long time.
Well, actually, I think for the first time in full ever, actually. Like, I think I've watched little bits of it, but this is the first time I've actually watched the full feature. And it's very impressive, like, for the time period, because, yeah, you know when it was made.
It was made in 1940. Walt Disney initially made the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey Mouse segment, and they realised that it cost too much to release as it was. And they pretty much went, well, we've got to do something with it. So Disney had this great idea because the art world were not accepting him, well, they're not accepting animation as like a proper art form. So he wanted to do something really arty. And then after he made Fantasia, they all went, he's too pretentious. Which is a bit like,
wow.
Yeah, so he's just like, right, okay. Anyway, so he was, like, Fantasia was meant to be like a series of different, shorter segments, and you build up on it, so you go, say, 1 year and there'd be so many segments, and then next year there'd be so many segments.
But they did it all in one go.
But they did it all in one go because it wasn't as successful, because, as I said, in 1940, Europe wasn't interested.
Yeah.
For reasons, so it just didn't happen as the way they wanted.
I really like the segments. I think it did sort of put forward like a narrative, even though it wasn't a narrative, it was these little shorts mainly based around the music, but it did give an interesting visual element as well, which I really liked. I liked the little bits that were ancient Greek based, because of course I did, because my other channel's Classic Corner. Nice portrayals of the gods, some really weird centaurs and nymphs and stuff, so that was cool. So in terms of like the classical music, do you think that sort of the classical music that they had in Fantasia was appropriate? Like,
yeah, well, it was like you're attending a concert, but it was like that guy was saying at the start, it's attending a concert and sort of the kind of things you'd be thinking of whilst you're in a concert, because naturally your mind wanders. But you're sitting there in the orchestra, maybe not quite so much unless you're on drugs, but yeah. Yeah, okay.
it is quite interestingly
Trippy.
visual. That's the word I was going to use. Yeah.
But I find it really interesting how the music is animated in a way which is different to like the circumstances in which the music is written or the context of it. Like the way they use the Stravinsky thing. Hang on, I do know stuff about this.
We have a booklet.
The Rite of Spring. Yeah, I just thought that was really interesting.
Sorry, that was the dinosaur section, yeah?
I can't even remember anymore.
Yeah,
it was
the
interesting.
dinosaurs.
It was the dinosaur section, okay. We, being as we are, couldn't just watch it and be like, take it in. We had little segments where we were just sort of,
at the beginning.
the mind wandered, like, mine, when you were, like, quite interested. You yelled at it twice.
Several times.
Well, you yelled at it twice, especially when it started. You,
yeah, what was that again?
you were annoyed at the orchestra.
You
were annoyed at the lack of orchestra.
You were like, you said, we will introduce you to the orchestra, and you were like, the orchestra is on the screen!
Or something like that.
It was
and then,
really.
then by the time we got to dinosaurs, the spring, which composer is that? You actually know the name of the composer? Stravinsky. Okay. Yeah. We decided to come up with a little story about the Stegosaurus.
Steve the Stegosaurus.
Who actually, he was the avatar of life on Earth, And that is why the dinosaurs died, is because the T-Rex killed Steve the Stegosaurus.
Steve seeks his revenge.
On the dinosaurs.
But not with the meteor, because...
That's how it happened, kids.
Because there's I can't remember which documentary it is, but it was about Fantasia, and it had, of course, and they had people who were working on it saying that Disney brought in scientists and artists and like all sorts of wacky people, and they got as up to date as they possibly could on all the ideas. And this is before continental drift, which is the plate tectonics moving, was like an accepted fact of science. So, and also sorry, there's a dog, and it was also, they hadn't really like confirmed or denied the meteor being the cause of the extinction or it actually happening. So it's quite interesting to see how the scientists translated the story to Disney, and then they animated it.
Yeah,
because it is actually quite accurate for what they had then.
Yeah, like it's accurate to the 40s.
Yeah, as accurate as as 40s science can be.
Well, 30s science technically, because it was 40s.
Yeah,
so,
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. So I find it really interesting. The clear human models they were going with, like they could obviously only do one female face, and they could obviously only do one male form, and you could only do one sort of child face or horse as well. Like you see that in lots of early Disney features, like Snow White is the female Disney face, the prince in Snow White is the male Disney face, so you can see that here. The donkeys that you can see in Pinocchio are the same as the donkeys you can see in this. Like they clearly had their animation models, which is really interesting. It's good to see like early Disney animation models, so you can see how it changes as well. So yeah, it's really good. Like it's obviously very well loved, so but it's not really seen a lot nowadays, which I can sort of understand, because it's interesting to watch, but I wouldn't necessarily call it easy to watch.
No. Not it's 2 hours long. It's it's cut up into segments, which does help.
There's an interval halfway through.
There's an interval, which is just...
Well, it's obviously not like a full-length interval, it's just they say they're going for an interval and then they come back really quickly.
But, so there's an interval, and...
There's a composer who's like the main link between the segments, so what do you think about the composer? You've had opinions about the composer.
What? What are we talking about?
The guy who is introducing all the different bits.
Segments.
The conductor.
Conductor, not composer.
Oh, right.
I said the wrong word.
He had I think it was a Missouri accent.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't pick up an accent.
He had one of the many American accents, and I'm pretty sure it was a Missouri accent.
Alright.
So he said some things quite, well, we find it strange, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's our thoughts on Fantasia. I think the next one is Aristocats. And we will see you then.
What's the song in Aristocats?
Everyone wants to be a cat.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
I like that. I look
So
forward to that.
that's an opinion you'll see next time. So, bye guys.
Bye!
Bye.